Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Life of Brian. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day out there. I am going to take my 2013 Dodge Viper. It's pretty filthy right now. I'm going to take it for a quick wash and just kind of shoot some thoughts about the car, especially with, yeah, it's completely filthy. I actually have not washed this car since I bought it, so it's been about probably a good 2 months or so. So it definitely is due for a wash. Here. Start her up and head off. But yeah, with the mind-blowing C6 ZR1 that just dropped, and when I say just dropped, just was revealed. I don't believe they're for sale yet, or maybe the waiting lists have already opened. I'm not sure. I'm not ever getting one, of course, but you know, 1,000 plus horsepower, almost 900 foot-pound of torque. Just amazing numbers, hypercar numbers. And I have a C6 ZR1 for those of you who already know, follow the channel. But I was kind of thinking like Vipers, which you know were made in much less quantity than their Corvette counterparts, and of course the Viper was killed off much earlier than the Corvette. Obviously, Corvettes are still being made. There are no more new Vipers out there. I was wondering, you know, are these cars going to be at some point, you know, become, I don't know, collector's items is applicable, but you know, are they really overlooked, underappreciated, or are they kind of overrated for what they are? You know, I don't know. I think that for sure the Viper has been, and I think continues to be, in the shadow of the Corvette, and specifically with the C8 coming out, and then the Z06 and the E-Ray, and now the new ZR1. I think that's just that gap between the two is going to just continue to build and build and build. And the question is, who really is going to appreciate these cars? You know, long term is basically just going to be like myself, Viper owners, or is the enthusiast community as a whole ever going to come around these cars? Are they ever going to make another Viper? You know, I mean, probably not, right? I mean, because Dodge has already killed off the, I don't believe there's any more Demons or Hellcats coming, at least in the, you know, combustible engine. Everything's going electric or hybrid, etc., etc. So it's an interesting thing. Like, is this one of those things where it's kind of, you know, mine's in 2013, so it's not the last year, the latest model available, but in terms of, you know, mechanical styling, everything like that, this is basically kind of how the Viper went out. And Dodge, I think, has certainly pivoted away from these type of engines and these type of cars in general. You know, muscle cars, sports cars that are just meant to go super fast. And Corvette, you know, has definitely not gone down that path yet. You know, there's, for God's sakes, they're dropping a 1,000 horsepower hypercar killer in the ZR1. But you know, I don't want this video too much to be about the ZR1 of Corvettes. I want to talk about, you know, Vipers. And I really think that these cars are kind of underappreciated. I think I had a 2004 Viper, which, quite honestly, guys, was kind of one of the worst driving experiences of any car I've ever had. The shifter sucked, the clutch sucked, and I mentioned this many times, but I think I really love the idea of having that car. Bright red, you know, V10, naturally aspirated, right? What's not to love, but just driving it felt like I was driving a heavy boat, worse than my Gallardo, quite honestly. And I did not enjoy driving it, and I constantly had to kind of psych myself up to want to drive it, which is a problem. This car, this 2013, is a completely different driving experience. Yes, it has a lot of the same dimensions, and obviously you still have that glorious naturally aspirated V10, 600 plus horsepower, so you have all the power you'll ever need. But in terms of the creature comfort, the livability, the interior, which, you know, is just much nicer, the seats are more comfortable, the shifter is infinitely easier and more satisfying to use, the clutch is pretty good as well. You know, the steering wheel, this leather wrapped steering wheel just feels great to the touch. I don't really like flat bottom steering wheels, guys, but you know, this one I'll make an exception for. Just feels great in the hand, very thick, very meaty, and yeah, the interior is great. I mean, it's not a Rolls Royce, it's not a Bentley, but it's a very nice interior for a Dodge, for sure. And I think that this car is something that, you know, for the price point, for the power output, for the performance, for the aesthetics, you know, it's amazing. I think it's amazing value, you know, I really do. It's again, what other car are you going to get that looks like this? That's in a manual. That's key too, guys. In a manual that gives you over 600 horsepower. You know, you're looking at like McLaren, Ferrari, Lamborghini for those type of numbers, and you're paying like 3-4 times the price of what you get, of what you'd have to pay to get into something like this. And I think that for whatever reason, you know, I've never been a big, you know, GM, Ford, whatever, Dodge guy. I don't buy cars based on brands. I buy them based on how they drive, how they look, you know, what I personally like or dislike about them. And I don't know why just people in droves tend to go towards Corvettes as opposed to Vipers. I just don't. I think maybe the price point, but of course, you know, you're looking at that new ZR1 now, and that thing's probably going to be over $250,000. Z06 properly spec'd out is going to be well over $100,000. So, you know, these Vipers, obviously they were 6 figures, but, you know, is it that ludicrous to pay for the amount of performance, for the looks, for what you're getting? I don't think so. And again, maybe the earlier iterations, like Jay Leno's first and second generation, with no locks, no hood, you can't leave your car out, or even mine, my 2004, which again was just a burden to drive. Yeah, those cars are not fun. But this car, again, the last generation Viper, I think they hit the sweet spot. The looks, the performance, the livability, just the feeling of, okay, if I want to pay $100,000 plus for a V10 for a lot of horsepower, but I also want to feel like if I pull up to a nice restaurant or I take my wife or my girlfriend on a date, I'm not like just making loud noises and pops and bangs and burning my leg on the side of the car, which isn't as bad as people say. But you know, it's a nice car. You feel like you're getting a little bit of luxury with it as well. So yeah, I think these cars do need to get a little bit more love, and I think with numbers dwindling more and more, especially, you know, less and less examples being stock and well cared for and maintained, and of course with Corvettes just becoming more ubiquitous, just really everywhere. I think that can't do anything but help resale value and sentimentality and appreciation of these cars. Because again, these Vipers I think are very unique. You rarely see them. I rarely see Vipers on the road. I see a lot of Corvette C8, C6s. And again, I'm a Corvette guy now. I mean, I love my C6, so I'm not bashing Corvettes. I love Corvettes as well, or I love my Corvette as well. But these Vipers are just, it's something about them. Maybe it's the fact that there's not that many of them. Maybe it's just like the cartoonish, over-the-top, outlandish design. Maybe it's that glorious V10s. Maybe all those things. Maybe it's the fact that you can't get them anymore. But I think that people who just automatically are looking for like a sports car or American-made sports car, muscle car, they just think of Mustangs and Camaros and Corvettes, especially on the used market, and you're not even thinking about a Viper, you definitely should at least think of the one that's the last generation Viper. Not so much the first, second, or third. I think it was the third generation. I think is pretty beloved, but you know, to each his own, right? But I think if you get the last generation Viper, like mine is my 2013, that's the sweet spot. You'll love the car. I love this car. I'm constantly trying to find ways to drive it, try to find ways to, you know, work it into my rotation more. But just want to share my thoughts, guys, on the Viper. And I really think these cars are kind of overlooked and underappreciated. And if you get one, hang on to it, because I think it'll be worth something down the road. So hope you guys like the video. Give it a thumbs up, comment below, like, subscribe. Please support the channel. Hope to catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. Going through the car wash. So on a quick side note, this car wash used to be really, really good. And then it got taken over by Whitewater, I believe. Whitewater it's called. It used to be called Splash. And I don't really like this car wash that much, but it's really close to my office. They have good rates on their monthly plans. It doesn't get the car that clean. I'd probably say like 85% clean. But considering I have so many cars and I just don't have time to take it to a hand wash place and wait for it, this is not bad. But given the fact that the car has never been washed before, you know, what are you gonna do?